I'm Eileen Borgelson with Life Moves Health for PT on the Net, and we're talking about giving great feedback today. What makes feedback valuable, what gets in the way of giving great feedback, and how to bypass those hurdles so that our feedback is gold. On the meter of useful, here are some examples of the low end. That was awful. That stunk. It's boring. You're boring. I hated it. I didn't like it. And even, I liked it. That was good. That was pretty good. It was fine. It was better. I don't know. Okay, I guess. Now, why is that feedback so awful? We'll get to that in a minute. First, in order to give constructive, actionable feedback, there are a few things that we need. First, we need to bust through the obstacles that can block a clear exchange. Missing information. Do you have all the facts from different points of view to have a well-rounded understanding of the situation? Distorted perception. Something that's really easy to have if you're missing information. Convoluted expression. That's when you couch something so that what you say is sort of hidden between all these other words so you don't recognize it anymore. Hidden agendas. Is there something going on underneath what you're saying that's driving what you're saying? A hidden agenda can be known to you, or it can be unknown to you and still have a really big impact on the exchange. Hostility. That's open, blatant hostility, or even hostility that's masked. Differences in frame of reference, point of view, or cultural norms. And the biggie, listening deficiencies. More about that in another video. So if you think about the last time you gave feedback, did your feedback encourage and enable the other party to make specific, self-motivated change? If not, why do you think that is? Now, in those pitfalls we spoke about just a moment ago, part of that had to do with hostility or agendas or any sort of other thing that might convolute the understanding two people have in coming into that exchange where feedback can take place. So ask yourself, what was going on underneath your intention to give that person feedback that might have changed the course of that exchange? Once you realign with an intention that's productive, the feedback is more productive and potentially can be received more productively. Now that you've got your sense of connection to that intention, there are a few other things that are helpful. Check your ego at the door and remember that the focus is on the other party and their success. So yes, even if you're right, but do they really need to focus on that, or do they need to focus on that change that you think that they ought to make? The other piece of this is to be generous and give them space to internalize that feedback and ask questions, enter into a dialogue so that they know how to apply that feedback. Now let's talk about some specifics. The what about the what, and the why is a great template for giving excellent feedback time after time when somebody asks for your input. So let's say somebody has a project that they've been working on and they want your opinion. You're going to take a close look at that project. And again, using all your powers of observation, there are going to be a few things that you pick out to talk to them about. That's the what. So whatever those points are, that's your what. But what about the what is the next step. So mention the what and then give them a what about the what so that they can understand clearly what needs to change. And then so that they can invest in that change and understand the context, give them a why. So a what you observe, what about what you observed, and then why you're making the recommendation you're making. It's a quick and easy way to give people excellent feedback, and you'll find that once you start employing it, a lot of people are going to be beating down your door for your advice. One of the most important things about giving feedback is not to get personal. Keep it focused on the situation in front of you and what needs to change. Now, what about if the feedback scenario isn't on a project or something specific outside of an interpersonal relationship, but rather a sticky situation? In management, this comes up all the time, but actually it also comes up outside the office too, where we have a situation that is difficult and we need to enter into a constructive feedback exchange with the other party. Well, we have some guideposts for that too.